Well, she's gonna tell us how she's the expert.
Might see your head, you don't have a bald spot, do you?
owns her expertise.
I have my.
Okay, we're gonna do 20 minutes, Beth Ann, you okay? 20?
You're cutting me down?
Yes.
Well,
Oh.
Okay, we'll give you 25.
we like to,
We'll give you 25. And we'll go over a little.
Okay, 25 and go over a little.
Go over for the
Okay.
class.
Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, will you open
Right,
that
we'll
one?
just have to introduce you as the time council.
Assistant. Got everything? You need this clip somewhere?
Yeah, she brought it.
just open it or take it?
Yeah, just take it out for me. That would be great. Thank you.
I saw one. That was an anime radiation. And I had Goku, and it did all the shocking thing.
And did you hit record? Do you need somebody to hit record?
I think we're recording.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, are you gonna introduce me?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Beth Ann.
on the Speak Up stage, Beth Ann!
25 on the clock.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
You want a 2-minute time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm gonna ring some bells. One of the hardest things for me to do when I go out to networking events or meeting new people or all that kind of stuff, and they ask me, well, so what do you do for a living? You'll not question. And the minute, of course, I say, well, I'm an accountant, I do taxes, bookkeeping, money stuff, the usual reaction is this. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Because I don't know how many of you enjoy talking about spreadsheets and balance sheets and bookkeeping, profits and loss. Like, who likes that? Right? Oh, yeah.
I like the profits and loss part.
I just like the profits part. I hate the loss part.
Honestly, I do too. Actually, I really like it. I wish I could say, sometimes I wish I could say, I'm a stewardess. I'm a pilot stewardess, because then they'd be like, oh, really? Where are you going this week? What's happening? Where are you going? We're flying off, So, just a warning, we are going to talk about money, just a little bit.
Financial status.
What we're going to talk about is the financial frequency, the money frequency. So I'm just going to invite you all to take just a minute and relax, take a breath. Like, look at Keenan, he's already all torn up here. Like, invite you to open up and step into a new opportunity of learning about your money frequency and what that means in order to create abundance and manifestation moment to moment. And take a breath in and out. Awesome. Lights, please. So, have you all seen these before?
Yes.
What have you seen? What have you known about these? Yeah, touch it for a second.
I know I've spent way too many hours playing it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, this is a plasma light beam, and this is really, I think, the best representation of what our cells in our bodies are like. Round, of course, they're not perfectly round, but there's this energy and this electromagnetic energy that is going through each and every one of our cells in our body. Does anybody know how many cells we have in our body? A lot. Yeah, a gazillion lots. Yeah, I don't know either, but a lot. And not only think about that about ourselves, about how many we have in our body, we also have, these cells also are constantly regenerating themselves. Our body fully regenerates in 7 years. Every 7 years we have completely regenerated our entire body. What does that mean? Like, if our cells can regenerate themselves, what that means is that there is an energy system within this, a memory of that cell, in order for it to regenerate itself. lights. Turn that off. Okay. So basically, I am an accountant for the last, well, since I was 22, 24 was the first job I got where I was actually I'm actually a forensic accountant, which means I pull together all the information and clean it up and figure out what's supposed to be done with what. So over 30 years, almost 30 years now, I've been working in that field of money. But in the last 13, 14 years, I've had my own business, Accounting Sense, where my first mission was to go out and support and teach entrepreneurs how to balance their checkbook, how to do the money stuff. Because what I realized as an accountant and a forensic accountant is the problem with people's money and the profits businesses were not making was because the bookkeeping and the accounting. I could have went on to be a CPA, but I chose not to because CPAs, what I work with, they just fixed all it and did all the loopholes and did all the illegal things to make the books turn out the way the owners wanted. So knowing that entrepreneurs were losing their businesses within the first 5 years, my passion was to go out and help entrepreneurs build their business and create profit, because what I saw was happening. What's the number one cause for divorce in families?
Financial issues.
Right, financial issues. And I hated that. Being a single mom, I also knew that if you couldn't pay the bills, Johnny wasn't going to be playing football. They were not going to get all the opportunities and growth and everything that they needed to be successful children in the world. There are all kinds of things. So in 2009, I started my own business. And what happened was I saw that all this emotion that we talked about, like, what do you feel? What have you felt about money in your own money situation? Guilt, shame, frustration, fear, worry, constipation, right? All of those things. And so when I realized and saw there was all this emotion there, what I realized was I had to get to the core of why that emotion was there. And what came about through my studies, and I just put basically a list of things because I have studied, like I said, human nature pretty much since I was a little girl, really. But all of these different areas of theology, physics, anthropology, biology, biochemistry, because one of my favorite classes when I was in college, which actually really surprised me, was statistics. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. When I came out of my statistics class, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really like that. The thing about statistics is what it does is it takes information from all different sources and you can show a pattern of cause and effect. Mm-hmm. If something happens to something, this will be the effect, right? So ultimately, my quest to understand our human nature and our emotions and why we were so fearful around money took me on this whole other quest of studying all these different areas of science and life and humanity and all these kinds of things. One of the big first things that came up was Einstein's theory of energy, or E equals mc squared. Have you heard of that before? Yeah. Energy equals everything. When I first saw it, before I even looked it up, I was like, emotions equals matter and consciousness times squared, right? 2 squared, because basically energy equals everything. What Einstein proved that basically you look through the cosmos, the universe, the galaxy, the earth, individuals, your organ systems, cells, molecules, atoms, subatomic particles, all equal energy. And when you look at the cosmos, all the way down through the galaxy, through the earth, to the human being, to the cell, to the atom, every single one of them have the same structure. Earth is round, cosmos, planets are round, atoms are round. I mean, Or sort of round.
I'm getting
Round
around by the
pig.
day.
Getting rounder by the day.
Roundish.
But we also have essential intelligence. There's essential intelligence within each one of us in our atoms, right? The center of the nucleus of the atom, right? There's that central intelligence. So one of the other things that came across, and I'm sure you've all heard of this one, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing like we always, right, over and over again. Expecting the same result. Right, expecting a different result. Well, what does that mean? What have you been trying to do? You've been trying to think this, think that. We think this, we're gonna think about that. We're thinking about this, we're gonna look at our brain, we're gonna think about everything we need to do. And what happens is, when we're only thinking, all we're doing is accessing the top half of our body. Sometimes we're actually accessing our heart energy, but we're really not even accessing our full body. One of my favorite scientists that I came across was Christine Pert. Christine Pert. In 1974, she discovered the opiate receptor. Is anybody familiar with receptors?
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Yeah. She's a neuroscientist and she was working at Johns Hopkins University, and her undergraduate degree, she was working on finding the opiate receptor. She is the one who is responsible for our whole opiate epidemic. In fact, later in her years, she died in 2013. She actually said she was sorry that she discovered it, because she saw what had happened and how the rest of the world took that opiate receptor. Ultimately, what the receptor is, and this is the cell, ultimately each one of our cells have these neuroreceptors. And these neuroreceptors, there's over 100 million neuroreceptors around every single one of these cells. And each one of these cells, these neuroreceptors, ultimately connect to a neuropeptide. What a neuropeptide is a chemical that is either synthetically introduced through our medications, or we create through our own hormones that are created through our glands, right? So what this means is that depending on the health of these neurotransmitters will determine the health and how that cell is going to react. Now, the thing that's exciting about these neurotransmitters and understanding these neurotransmitters and all these chemicals that we can create is that we can create them, right? That we have the ability, personally, individually, to actually create every single one of the hormones that our bodies need in order to repair themselves. Now, what happens and how this cell actually functions and attracts these good hormones, or the healthy hormones, right? Or healthy hormones to create this cell healthy is a vibration. There's a vibration that happens. And in that vibration, it's signaling out what it wants to attract and what it wants to bring to it. Now, originally, neuroscientists thought, oh, well, the neuroreceptors and all that's all in our brain, all the stuff is in our brain, and what Christine Pert actually did bring about was the whole mind, body-mind connection, in that 80% or 20% our head is our subconscious, is our conscious, or our body is the subconscious. So what does that mean? Well, this is what's exciting about it, is that if we can figure out how to create our own neuroendorphins and hormones and all of those fun chemicals and whatnot, we could actually change and shift the cell into one that's healthy, which means we don't create tumors, we don't create diseases, we don't create cancer, we don't create all of these other diseases in the body. Well, how do we do that? What happens is it's connected, of course, to our emotions. Our emotions are that bridge between our body and our mind. And if we can't get our emotions to relax and to calm down, then we can actually create the way we want to create. If we're in fear, we are in this contracted space and we don't actually allow ourselves to receive. You know, we don't send out a healthy vibration for what we want to receive. So ultimately, our mind generates the emotions, and based on those beliefs we take are the actions that we take, and based on whether or not we're taking actions, we then come to our spiritual self or our self-esteem. We base our self-esteem on our actions, and then we base our self-esteem on our value, equals our value, and our wallet, what we charge ourselves. So you can see how it all kind of interconnects with it. So my whole was, how am I going to do this? I want to tell you a little quick story about beliefs and how it impacts a person. What's my time?
10 minutes?
Is that when I was 13, I was so super excited because I was going to get to go to my first grown-up dance. And, you know, I'm the oldest of 8 kids, and so getting to get a brand new outfit of anything was a super special deal, because I usually was like, you know, at the thrift store and, you know, hand-me-downs, whatever, and see how they fit, maybe. So this time I got to go to the mall, and my mother made a special trip, made a special experience for us to go out to the mall, and we were going to get me this new dress, and I was so excited, especially because, one, I got to spend time with my mother, which I never did, but also because, again, brand new outfit, right? Well, we got the outfit, it was fun, we did the whole trying out, it was just a beautiful, fun afternoon, and we're at the register, we were getting checked out, and there was this little button basket on the counter, and she pulls out this button, and she takes a look at it, and she chuckles, and she hands it to me, and she said, "Oh, here, this is you." I'm like, "Oh." So I look at the button, and it says, 49% sweetheart, 51% bitch. And as a 13-year-old, my heart dropped, because that belief of myself of being a bitch has been torturing me my whole life. And of course, because of the way our mind works, our reticularly activating system, our brain works like a great defense attorney, and it's always looking to be right. So I was always looking for places to be a bitch. And I probably was at some times, you know. I was pretty tough, you know. I mean, single mom, 30 years, Taurus, come on. But what happened is, as I worked through my own belief system, and this is what's happened. Can you see it over there? What happened is, as I grew up and was figuring out who I was, this is representation of ourselves, our chakra system, our energy system. This is our auras, mind, body, spirit, and wallet. And what happens with all these beliefs is we start carrying them on us. Doubt in our belief in what we have to say, doubt in what we create, doubt in our ideas, doubt in everything about us. Doubt that I'm even lovable. Who would love a bitch, right?
A lot of people.
Not pretty messed up people, but because you attract. I don't want to attract another anyway. Money mistakes, right? There are money mistakes, the guilt around the money mistakes. You know, single mom, I bounced a few checks. I had to do that. Different things that had to happen. Heartbreak. My heart was broken, especially from my religious upbringing, what my mom had to say to me, like all of those things broke me. Unworthy. I mean, especially when it comes to sexuality and a woman and her sexuality, or the trauma that a lot of women and men have experienced when it comes to our lower chakras. and our lower energies. Here's another one, shame. And anger is another one. What happens in our frequencies, because we're carrying all these emotions in our body and in ourselves, what happens is with our frequency, what can you see is happening?
It's all negative frequency.
Yeah, it's blocked. It's like you
Blocking.
can't, you're not getting what you want. We're just like we're not manifesting, we're not making the money, all this stuff is not happening. In order for us to heal this and to move these blocks, we've got to figure out what's going on in our head and what's going on in our body. And the beautiful thing, and this is what Christine Perk, the neuroscientist, proved, was that the memory and information is held in every single cell of our body. Our body holds information in every one of our cells. And the typical way of using, of working in our chakra system has always been a horizontal up and down, like we're going to work it up and down, we're connecting all these things and all this stuff. But Einstein's thing kept bringing up to me, we got to do it differently, we got to do it differently. And what came to me was this energy flow of how moving our energy through our heart chakra first, our throat chakra, to believe, to our solar plexus, to our sacral chakra, then to our brain, our third eye, so our crown chakra, and now to connect, to receive. And understanding a different mind connection. So in 2000, my cards, I published those in 2014, and I added the chakras in at the very end. I didn't know much about them. So over these last 14 years, I've really been working not only with my goddess cards, but with individuals too. Like I've done hundreds of readings all over the place. I've worked with clients with this whole process, and the energy of the cell ultimately is what's come down to it. So in order to clean all this out and figure out what I need to do, this is what I came up with over this time period, is this energy cell, the energy, this money of the cell, right? Because that memory of how does it reproduce? Well, if it's not healthy when it is reproducing, we have to make that cell healthy again, right? In order for us to shift the results of how that cell is going to regenerate. And if we can map it, connect it to our mind and our body, we can shift that frequency. Now, what happens with money is that last layer, a wallet of our aura. It is that next tangible space to actually creating the manifestation, of actually seeing it. Right here we have the thought, we have the idea, table, then we pull together the energy of all the atoms, and here we have is the table. And that's what our wallet does, and this is why when we work with our money, it shows us a reflection of our inner world. And what's so beautiful about it, again, there's only 4 areas of your money you need to learn about. How you make your money, how you spend your money, how you manage your money, how you track your money. Now, see, notice this looks like the cell, right? The cosmos. There's also the sexual intelligence that's in each one of you. Each one of your cells have that central intelligence. I mean, think about the egg and the sperm, for heaven's sakes. Think about that. An egg and a sperm. What does that equal? Us.
Human being?
Yeah. How much information is in those 2 tiny little teeny tiny things that brought each and every single one of you here, brought us all the way up from little babes to our beautiful ages now, not to mention with all the things that are going on here. And we're still, as far as neuroscience and technology and everything goes, they're still discovering more and more about us as an individual and our capabilities and our abilities. One other thing I want to say,
2 minutes.
I realized, perfect, one of the things that I realized when, so I'm turning 55 this year.
So am I.
Awesome.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, going to Wendover, gonna maybe play the penny slots. I'm not a gambler. I'm gonna sit in the hot tub in the swimming pool, that's where you'll find me, maybe a cocktail or 2. But the thing is, I lost my train of thought. Dang it, where was I gonna go? Ah, shoot.
Turned 55 this year.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Is that 40 years? 40 years I've been wearing that badge on my shirt. 59% sweetheart, 49. Or 49. Wait, see, I can change. I switched it. You can tell already. 49% sweetheart, 51% bitch. And just as all the work that I've been doing in healing my own self-belief and my own confidence this last year, I finally was able to remove that, because what I realized was that was the label my mother had for herself. And the only place that she could express that, she knew nothing better, but was to, lay it out on me. And in the long run, it turned out to be a blessing, because I kind of like who I am now, and I'm over the bitch part. I think I'm a sweetheart now, and very likable and lovable and all those kinds of good things, and a lot more fun.
You need a little bit of that.
Well, I agree,
I call it
right?
spicy. I don't call it bitch. I call it
Spicy, right. It's about balance, and
spicy.
that's again what this whole energy cell is about, is there's a balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine. Honestly, I truly believe the patriarchy hurt the masculine as much as the feminine. And we get to balance the divine masculine and feminine within us, as long as our mindset and earth and sun. And our money will lead you back to where those issues, or where you can start healing.
What'd you like? I know, I just want to do this because it's so good. Was she the expert? Let's ask that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel like she was the expert?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I loved how you came at energy work from a totally science-based space in the beginning. I really like that. Because it is science-based. And
It's
people,
way more interesting than books.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I really liked it. I thought, like Bobby said, I think bringing the full picture of exactly how you help everybody with their money frequency. I think telling people you do your forensic accounting sounds so much better. And I just think that really, when you really deep dive into it, feels no one would do that unless they really cared. I think is my biggest thing, is like no one would really go through all the things that you do for people if they didn't care. And so,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I have to go. I'm actually late already. But
Thank you.
Sorry.
no, I had to stay.
Wait.
But yeah,
Thank
no
you.
one would do that unless they cared. So I
Thank
think that's
you.
something that's really cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Because I do. I love you too. Thank you so much.
See you guys.
Jesus. You're a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Proof.
Exactly. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I love that you also came back around. You explained the cells and how the cells work, and then you showed us this cellular thing of the money piece. You ended with that. I really loved that. I love that you created your own kind of concept and thing out of the science that's legit and real. Personally, I just loved that whole how you came full circle.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Can you go back? Yeah, okay, so I've seen all these before, like what is that, mind, body, spirit?
Spirit
Not the
wallet.
wallet.
So wallet, you put that on there,
Yeah.
right? You're the only one that's done that.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that came with when I started writing the cards, mind, body, spirit, and wallet, and our higher I am self, our higher self, and knowing who we are. So, because that's it, the minute we were all doing like yoga and like, whoa, but as soon as we started talking about money, people were like freaking out.
It's interesting because I mean, we go to self-esteem and we hit our personal value, right? But there is no definition of personal value other than that I value myself. And you've expressed that and you've provided us a definition of personal value.
Like
and,
legit.
and it actually works. It's real. Like people that are struggling constantly financially are individuals that have a low concept of personal value.
Yeah, definitely,
So good.
I like the depth that she studied. She really had to have studied quite a lot. I would love even more on the how we make sure that those receptors are
I
clear
would
and
have liked to
active.
have heard some of that. Somehow we could do it.
yeah.
What we could do
Specific
to, like,
exercise or
Yeah.
whatever we're taking
Yeah,
it,
some kind of
supplement, whatever
tool. Would have been nice to have gotten some kind of
Enhance that.
tool, because I think we're all excited. I mean, I want to change my sales, man. That sounds. Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Back to.
So you got us. You definitely in this case. I think if you were in a place where you were speaking to a bunch of people and you said, "Come talk to me because I do have some tools," I'd be going and talking to you.
Yeah, well, this
But
is,
there's something to be said about that, because the purpose of this is to show your expertise and how you own your expertise, right? But just because that's the purpose doesn't mean that you can't offer something, or you can't invite us to do something. So
Yeah.
In fact, it just gives you legitimacy
If I had
to do
my
that.
five
more
minutes.
legitimacy.
Yeah.
The 5 minutes were cut off.
Well, honestly, what I presented is the forefront of my book, which then goes into each one of these sections and go into depth with each one of the
So
stuff.
that would have been a great
This is
sell
an
for your
introduction
book.
to my book,
Yeah, that is a great. I want
You guys
to-
are
I
the
want
first
that.
to hear it publicly.
So you're gonna have that on the
Where is
cover?
that published?
Hopefully it makes sense, that was my biggest concern, like, did it make sense, did I follow it, like,
Yeah.
I did,
yeah.
I followed along
was
quite
it boring?
and I can
It
go
was
off in
fascinating.
la la land. So thank you. You kept my attention the whole time.
Good, cool.
Super good. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, guys.
Anything better?
Anything you'd like to see different?
You did seem a little nervous to me.
Yeah.
You didn't seem
What's up with that?
comfortable.
I was a little nervous, cause I was trying to go fast and like try to get so much.
Well, yeah, 'cause the
There's a
time
lot of
factor was
information to
less than
cover.
the
I
25.
noticed you did seem a little bit rushed, because you were
Yeah.
trying to get through. And I wasn't sure if it was rushed or nervous or a little bit of both, but, yeah.
There's a thing like a shuffle or a.
Yeah.
I think I do that.
A little bit.
She learned that at the dance.
Yeah, it's a dance step.
That's
That's
right.
right. We're carrying it with us.
Yeah.
I also would have liked to have, I mean, you have a little bit from when you were 13, but I didn't really understand how that related to this, other than you got that button and that's who you related yourself to, but it didn't seem to relate to this at all. And so I would have liked to see more personal example and really relating that personal example to this.
Yeah.
And what brought you to this.
And how it connected with money and the
Yeah.
cellular money.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other story, I'm sure, and,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Well,
want
and
to
there's
cover
probably
the
a way to
information,
connect
but.
that though, for sure.
Well, a lot of my clients said they used to feel like they just come to me and they're knocking their head on the wall. But, because it can be tough when I tell people like, quit paying that bill. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much, I really appreciate all you.
Awesome, thanks guys. Thanks for coming. We got any announcements other than we're not doing Story Magic
We're not doing
Thursday.
Story Magic on Thursday.
We're not doing Story Magic on Thursday, but we will be doing stuff. We'll see you next week, guys. And thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
I want to learn more.
Yeah.
So, how does this work?
How does it work?
So, like, dues and all that.
Yeah.
The way this works is, each unit
Because
You're such a rock star. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
That was easy. That's the first time you said that.
You go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
like you have
We
are with you. You know what I mean, right?
So, speakers.com/person. It has
She
the breakdown.
always starts with everything's in.
So it has information about
I'm like, oh,
The
yeah.
topics.
No, I don't have it.
I can have one next week.
I'm so
So
excited.
you go
Yeah,
right out.
what a pleasure you have.
You're the 11th.
What should we eat?
Practice.
I hate to do this.
Well,
I wasn't even
That's about
thinking
it.
about
That's
you.
probably-
I'm always gonna say my,
Well, everybody does.
first one I say.
And why not? Why not?
I was even seeing those advertisements on Robert Kiyosaki, you know, he's a recommended one.
What was your speak up speaker?
Not
Do
personal.
something differently, do it by
Oh, that's right.
what's definition
And
of
Yes,
insanity. Yeah, he starts advertising that.
My favorite quote is
You didn't tell
if
me,
you're a
or,
fish,
we didn't get a
everybody
chance,
is
but
absolutely
what are
is
some of the
climate
things you get for
change.
$50 a
Then
month?
we can never be
have someone
to
teach
Oh.
Bobby, do we have a
Exactly.
teacher back to us next week?
Oh, is anybody gonna teach next week? After everybody's leaving?
Gonna teach what?
The concept of being the expert.
I'll do that.
You'll do it?
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm glad you didn't leave yet.
Yeah, me too. So each week is a little bit different, and we follow this pattern. So it's all on the website, and then the membership option